Actually running with very limited utility, just a fast play to get out to the vents, but Kaze dropped immediately, can't even get himself into those vents because the rest of the assault is actually happening in at ramp. It's quick control attained here for the Chinese squad, and they simply slow their roll. Mongols have made some good rotations down to lower.
Gotta be worried about Haseka's positioning over here as well. If he wants to start to maybe go back outside and see if he can get a quick flank out towards these players and just get a bit more information. Mongols, however, might not want to go for that call just yet. 9-10 finds Advent. Mzinho looking at the player jumping around the corner, but it's 9-10 to actually find the flanks regardless. Mazea can't respond in time. Jamyoung, sure he's on the bomb site, but he's late to the party. Hell can be a very long rotation, and they didn't quite space it right to allow him to strike through. Now in a 1v2, already 2 kills found. Can he double up is the question. Will not be easy. Blitz creeping in and takes him down.
Yeah, I got a little scary there. As soon as Jamyoung found that kill into main, did really start to raise an eyebrow about whether he could pull off that clutch or not. The Mongols were really quick to read into how 5yclone were approaching that, especially after the slowdown in at ramp. I think they had their suspicions raised that it was going to be an upper side attack instead. And the Mongols do manage to get that pistol round under their belt. It could have been a completely different round as well had maybe Kaze got himself into vent like they had initially planned. But things don't always go to plan. The Mongols already throwing a spanner in. Does see a full force buy here from 5yclone. Just a single dig in the hands of Mosea. I want to believe that was, weirdly enough, kind of funded by Jamyoung, because he got those 2 kills in the round just gone by.
It should be, given where his money is. Surprised that he doesn't keep it for himself in that case, though. He is so good on the Deagle, and right now Mosea tagged up early on, brought down. Maybe Jamyoung can still have it delivered over to him. 9-10. Just making sure that no one can actually drop down and put too much pressure onto Techno, but yeah, it's easy pickings, not a single loss of life, and Mongols start off 2-0.
Yeah, nice easy way to deal with the anti-eco. Should be a full buy from 5yclone. And I think one of the things we'll really look to is just how quickly they set a precedent. I think there were quite a few moments, or from what we've seen in this qualifier, you know, teams have been doing a good job of aggressing past outside smokes or just showing good quick presence towards Secret, for example. We know that we watched that quite a lot in the Olin Vision series that we caught.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to really disrupt the early plans of 5yclone, who have had definitely looked shakier in their decision making as of late.
Zinnia's just been completely brought down by a Molotov. He was double flashed out from Jamyoung, if I'm not wrong, to the back of the bomb set, and he just gets taken down. And now Haseka trying to use a smoke of the grenade, but it's not enough. Techno has to put up a performance of his own. Molotov to cordon them off, but there's another player right nearby, so they might not be expecting 9-10's presence. They would rather, however, prioritize Mosea if they can find him. But Techno's being very thunderfooted about this, and positions are given up as they're trying to rotate back to the upper bomb site. 5yclone completely outmaneuvering the Mongols.
Yeah, I mean, they were getting kills all over the map. I mean, the Mongols would have been a little confused about what kind of adaptation they make. You know, they're losing Zinio to utility. They're conceding kills outside. They're losing out on the rotating player down to lower. Just not a whole lot going right. 5yclone are going to be satisfied with how easy that round really felt. You know, players spread out, finding all their individual kills, and the Mongols did very little to stop them.
Blitz is so ready for this aggression. Oh, they're not going to be prepared for it at all. Mercury drops, and that's the early advantage forfeited. Techno's also considering maybe getting a slightly better sightline back towards smoke. And as it dissipates, would rather play the close angle. Hard to do with the FAMAS, but let's see whether he can make it work.
Yeah, it's a very slow approach here from 5yclone. They still have Kaze on T-roof, ready to deploy utility. Maybe force out the hand of some aggression in response from the Mongols. Jamyoung will be the one probing into ramp, and there is a little reinforcements coming their way. 9-10 won't quite get there in time to alleviate that pressure, but at least getting one kill in response. Still a man advantage held here for the Mongols, and with 50 seconds on that clock, they will decide to make a bit of a move towards the lower side. Thing is, Blitz is already here, very fast on his rotates, but Mosea floors him. So that B-bomb site now given full access and enough room for a plant.
Hasaka might be given a free by though. Oh, drops down right as Mosea is going for the jiggle. Smoke's got some leeway if he'd like to start creeping through from the right side, but Advent is watching for just that. So much damage, and Advent will be forced to reposition very soon. Smoke down for the retake. No, 9-10 doesn't deploy it. They'd rather just go for the duels straight up, and I don't blame them for it. There's a player back in dark. You don't want him to have the comfort of a smoke. Mosea reveals himself, and now Kaze unable to get the tap. Needs to swing out wide again. Kaze and Mzinho all alone. 1v1. Bomb ticking down low, and Kaze's played this perfectly. Plays the time rather than playing the field, and will be able to keep his life as well.
Yeah, really hectic. Even though they found themselves in a man advantage. A really good clear from Mzinho coming out of decon and clearing the top side of the silo on B. But it's just not enough. The fact that they are able to get at least one kill from each of those respective players, and Kaze repositioning and peeking at the perfect time just as well when that smoke bloomed on the lower site. Flawless stuff from him. But really, the hero in that round is Mosea. Got those 2 kills to secure a path for the bomb to go down, and then as well, still contributed in the post plant. Some really, subtle moves that helped him win those fights.
Not had the best of times so far, and even now, Advent's the one who actually finds the frag. A little bit unfortunate that he gets blinded by Kaze, but hey, man, it's all's fair in love and war, I guess.
I think that was just a partial flat blind. I don't think there's a way in which he was actually fully flashed up. But that said, when there's a leaping blitz coming at you, that's just a hard duel in general.
And the flying P250 and the partial blind, this makes it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
You can kind of see, and there's a big creepy gun running at you.
Yeah, one of those moments where you blink at the wrong time and you're met with sadness. It's like, wait, I'm spectating now? Well, they will at least allow Mzinho to save for a second time over. So, I guess they're cutting some costs.
Michael, you know what would be really cool in Source 2? Just like a really small quality of life edition, if we could have this. Is if for the esports side of things, you could just assign numbers to the players in your team, so that every single time they're going to be the same numbers on like the HUD and the map.
Yeah, no, I think that would be cool.
Kind of like Dota in position 1 through 5, but yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be representative of the players, but just be like, hey, if I see the minimap, it's 5, I know, hey, that's going to be Hasaka, I know that. For recognizability.
I won't lie, I've always appreciated sports for having numbers on jerseys, for example.
Same. This thing would be cool.
We don't have to copy them all the time, but that's one of those things I do kind of hope we bring over at some point. That's a really, really bad smoke for a secret. But Blitz, he realizes he's in the wrong spot for this because it's an A-side attack instead. They've bypassed him altogether, but they're still finding kills aplenty. A hold on this A-bomb site with Kaze, just a sitting duck. That round looked like they were actually going to pull the wool over the eyes of the Mongols, but then suddenly they just get this flurry of frags on the defense.
Nicely done from Hasaka, honestly. That was one of the criticisms that I levied against him, so I've got to give him props wherever he manages to escape that, which is that, when they're hitting the bomb site, gets 2 great kills. This time wasn't playing from second bench, which is a position he was really favoring before. And yeah, nice. Really nicely done.
I kind of caught it from Blitz's point of view more so than anything, but the result was palpable. Wow, okay, that's kind of curious. A full cross outside, and they had no smokes to cover this. 9-10, oh, aimed in the wrong spot, so that AWP does nothing for him. That is a real wake-up call. The fact that this was a massive gap in the Mongols' defense that CycLone found just off of trying it.
Maybe don't try Techno, though. He's having a hot hand. That is for sure 2 big frags as both Kaze and Mercury are felled, and now the remaining players are so split apart. Jamyoung hoping to hunt over elsewhere in the map. That hunt has given an information that they can go for just a bomb plant straight up. A smoke down to mini as well. Advent will guarantee it. Jamyoung is covering off any sort of heaven aggression that is planned from the CTs, but they're not looking for that angle at all. Not yet, at least. Hastika will be trying to move back in. Flashbang to give Techno some space into the bomb site. He's revealed his position, and sure, he's found another kill, but it's Hastika to fall. Jamyoung in the 1-on-3. He's found the first, but he's also found a nade at his feet. Quick nade in response is being planned out by him. A smoke to cover off the tracks. Techno's not meeting the nade, and Techno is going to be on the bomb. If he just waited for the tap, then maybe there was something to be said about it. But Mzinho's just covered off Jamyoung, pushing through the smoke. What a round from Techno.
Yeah, I mean, 4 kills from him, and this is what I was saying. You know, we looked at that Atox game in the lower bracket. It came to a double overtime on Anubis, and Techno was the one that felt like he was the difference maker. He had so many rounds of high impact, so clean in the way that he was finding multi-kills, which is something we didn't see in our upper bracket showing against Lin Vision. You know, Techno was actually one of those players that noticeably didn't have a strong performance, but it does feel like he has awoken further we've gone into this tournament, maybe realizing as well that they don't have that extra life to give anymore. This is do or die for a chance to end up in Sydney.
Oh, well, Mzinho and Techno starting off and continuing their farm. Very nice to see. And Cyclone, sure, they've hit the upper bomb site, but it seems like they're not quite ready for how warm the welcome was. Like when hospitality can sometimes be stifling, or like, oh my god, you guys love me too much. That's what this was.
I feel like I've seen this before. Didn't this happen in the Lin Cyclone game where Jamyoung crept outside and then he reflanked through lobby?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird path to take, because you'd assume most of their eyes are darted forward, but I guess because you're Jamyoung, they'll think, oh, well, maybe he's coming in from behind.
It's like pressing tab and being like, yeah, man, James gonna save, guys, don't worry. And then he just comes in 1v3s you.
I was curious about how Jamyoung was going to approach this, but he did want that Tech 9, so he threw his Glock further out of earshot just to make sure that he could retrieve this without giving away information. Small details that could find him a kill. Oh, damage onto Techno, it's not enough. Another solid upper hold, and this time they even lost the initial duel, but just being able to get that the rotates in quite quick enough. So far, so good. Getting a couple flashes in the pan for Cyclone. The Mongols are able to stabilize as well. This is a round in which if they keep 4 or 3 alive, they can continue to build up some money. It'll be quite a tall task, though. This full buy from Cyclone does have a plan already lined up. Hastika found, and it's a double entry for Mercury. This is the vulnerability on that A-bomb site you were talking about. 9-10 does at least find Advent at the very least, but there's enough room to plant. There are smokes and so much util down. Cyclone have a man advantage when that bomb goes down.
I am so confused. You have to say, surely you have to say Blitz is low as well? And now with his position being given up, there is a legitimate conversation to be had about potentially hunting him down. Now, the Cyclone economy isn't very good, but they will have a buy in the next round regardless, because they've obviously got around that $800 across the 4 of them, so... But no, they'll decide against it.
Yeah.
Probably the more appropriate decision.
Definitely. For the reasons you were sort of labeling, you know, Blitz, if he had gotten that kill cleanly, maybe they even talk about it, right? But him being low, really not conducive to winning any more duels afterwards. So this time it's an upper side assault, which is actually not sparked by the T side. Instead, it's this aggression into hut that gets completely counteracted. You know, Hastica and Mazinho were definitely under a bit of a microscope when we were watching them against Vision, and for good reason. You know, as much as the mechanics on Mazinho have been impressive, I think you're right to sort of point out his discomfort on this side of the map. You know, it's an area that's very hard and very. You kind of have to construct your own internal flow chart of where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do on this map, which only takes. I mean, really, it takes time and a lot of experience. And well, Mazinho hasn't had the most amount of time with this roster, nor does he have years of experience like some others in his role.
I thought you were about to say the most amount of time in the world because he's a young guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's also 16, so I mean, you know.
Hasn't had the most years in general, right?
In life.
Yeah. What's your excuse? I haven't been alive.
Okay, I mean, that's fairly reasonable, actually. But that was just an instance of getting caught, yeah, trying to go for a little bit of aggression and fully punished for it, so.
What is Blitz up to? Is he in garage or?
Yeah, he's deep garage. Just watching
All
Ryan.
Right. So I was very confused about why he's there if 910 is next to him as well. But yeah, makes sense.
We have a Phantom X on the radar, so. And it's gone.
Ooh, spooky. Asuka though, wants to be a little bit spooky on the bomb site. Unfortunately for him, it's Mercury who's doing the haunting. And Zinio keeps himself alive. There's too many angles to deal with. There's that little swivelly swoop that can come back to bite you if you've got the M4A1S, and Kaze and Mercury are happy to just shut him down for that mistake. Mercury and Mosea both very low. Blitz has a play that could be made if there's a flashbang to come through as well, but Kaze is a healthy man and he is keeping an eye out for him. Bomb can be planted now as well, and 910 will be forced back on the save.
Yeah, that's a damn shame. Blitz gets that kill, and this retake is on, and I mean, very favorable for the Mongols, but now with 910 on that AWP, there's just no chance. We had a nice little 1v2 from Blitz, I believe, coming in from heaven, and he had like a wonderful spray transfer where he just instantly floored 2 players earlier against Vision, and this is unfortunately not a replication of that kind of result. I do think we noticed as well that the Mongols were very reliant on Blitz to have a very solid CT side. The man was a menace, constantly finding kills on outer aggressive maneuvers or making these quick rotates down towards the lower side. He was just very hard for Lin to get a read on. But even with that, even in spite of that, wasn't a map that they actually pulled through on, for some of the reasons we sort of labeled for other players. It's been a difficult stride, and them being already 5-5, probably more than they wanted to concede on the CT half. It's gonna be more.
Strong part, actually holding on to a very difficult angle. The amount of jumps that are possible from there make it so you're almost never getting a second kill, and indeed he doesn't get the adjustment in time. The rest of his teammates were really just saving ducks. This is almost as easy to kill as sitting ducks.
Alright, another one of these full gun rounds. I know they got punished for going for aggression on the Mongols previously through Hut, but I'd like to see them focus on those outside fights, like I was sort of noting for Blitz. If he's able to take that space, it means that they can get more reinforcements onto the bomb sites quicker. They are looking to set up for a very fast peak on the Cyclone camp for ramp. Techno, if he jiggles and hangs around a little too long, they are trying to line up for that AWP, and he's already tagged, so Mosea simply bags the kill. wonderful setup there from 5yclone, and they immediately pounce on this lower side because there's no way there are players here to react in time. Blitz does get to the windows, but one is already skirted past him, and Mercury, again, just finding that kill into control, even running past the Molotov. This is a flounder here from the Mongols. They have to save, and there's no chance they come back into this round.
Is this the infamous strong start and not a follow through? Honestly, it's not even been that strong of a start. It was pretty even, but 5yclone are now just able to sort of take control and outmaneuver so effectively. And this was always a bit of a concern when you're looking over towards Mongols' previous performances on Nuke, but I didn't think it would be to this point where 5yclone could really find themselves in a place where they find 8-9 rounds on their T side.
I mean, you'll take an exit, sure.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, this is already spelling a bit of doom and gloom here for the Mongols on the CT half. It's not like they're shy of playing this map. You know, Nuke is fine usually.
Nuke does feel like one of those maps which they really liked playing before, but maybe they didn't always sort of put it on a priority list anymore for practice and whatnot, and they've slowly been having their grip slip on it. I seem to remember them losing out to one or two of the teams that weren't in the top 3 as well on it.
Mm-hmm. I will say this is the most I think we've seen from 5yclone on a T side, just move into areas on the map with a lot of conviction. You know, they're very frequently slow rollers, like they'll throw a lot of utility and then they'll have somebody sort of poking and probing behind those smokes, and maybe they'll slow cross. We've seen them run completely outside with no smokes. We've seen them set up for this fast sort of ramp take. I love that 5yclone are willing to change up that pace and actually hunt for that opening duel more so here against the Mongols. This is kind of what I was talking about. This is like a very normal 5yclone round, but I haven't seen many of them this half.
You mean when everyone is still in spawn in 20 seconds?
Yeah, they're all just chilling.
I don't know what their cause is, just worried because of like a few pushes that they had against him earlier on, but he's just walking out with the AWP over there now.
It's as well, you know, they called a tactical timeout, they got punished for an aggressive move, and they haven't done one since. So 5yclone have really slowed down the pace here, maybe anticipating that they'd try and find an aggressive solution to the problem.
Oh, Hastika puts his gun away at the wrong time, and now again he's just struggling and finding the duels. He can't watch this. Advent's got the triple kill going into the A-bomb site.
That's Advent's second triple kill. And he has 6 kills in total.
My man is, he knows what he wants.
He's an A-side entry specialist. He did against the pistols earlier on, and now against full rifles. That actually looked pretty... the timing actually looked decent enough there for the Mongols. You know, the Hastika got a Molotov down in a door. There was a decent amount of damage spread across this 5yclone camp, but yeah, the shots just weren't hit. Hastika was shooting at nothing, really.
Hastika was drawing outlines. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, it's like that scene from Ali G. It is a little shocking. The Mongols have had some pretty successful A-side holds, and that was certainly not one of them. Put it, you know, in the F tier of total Mongols holds.
Listen, we don't gotta make a tier list for their failures.
I mean, they've had some S tier holds too. You know, it's just they're on other sides of the spectrum. Taking the bad with the good, but there's been more bad than good here for the Mongols in the CT side. Blitz does have an M4, but the rest of the squad do not have rifles to play with. And, well, they found another set of kills at the start of this round, and Blitz even killed himself. You know, he didn't want to give Mercury the satisfaction.
Look, man, I'm happy to make 300 IQ jokes, but unfortunately, yeah, maybe this is a circumstance where probably doesn't want to be thinking with his head and more just figuring out whether he can brute force his way into a round, because it feels like Mongols aren't really struggling when it comes to rotations. They're not really struggling when it comes to having the right player at the right, just having players at the right position. There's been a few rounds where Cyclone has outmaneuvered, but a lot of this is just straight up, hey, we are not able to hold on.
Yeah, they're just winning fights. You know, that's why Blitz shows such urgency trying to drop off of top garage, is that he lost 2 players ramp so fast. But then he has to worry almost about getting killed from hell. They're probably going to go to the lower side, and Blitz wants to be there because he's got the 1 rifle. You know, if players had been alive for 30, 40 seconds into the start of that round, then Blitz might actually get a kill from his spot. But Cyclone are running with a high level of confidence, and I mean, when so many of your players are finding multi-kills in these rounds, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Nineteen's getting aggressive. I like this. First time we've seen this adjustment, Michael. You mentioned before that we've seen Red Peak sort of fall out of favor, but now Nineteen's taking up the mantle on the outside, misses a opportunity, but Blitz is not going to be letting this one go by the ways. He's taking the distraction in his own favor. Could find 2, lining them up. Damage on the Jamyang as well, but it's a flashbang that he uses to commit to it. USB out, and he continues fighting. Blitz is a madman. Talked about how he needed to brute force. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Mongols now set up in a 4v2, very heavily courtesy of their IGL.
Yeah, this is why this guy can be such a menace. Found his first kill and just didn't stop rolling with the punches. Should just be a slam dunk for the rest of the Mongol squad. Hastika already holding deep into garage just for an eventual mini cross. They don't have a lot of room here on Cyclone. Even crossing towards Secret is a massive risk to take because 910's AWP is still on field. You know, that's not a vulnerability they have to deal with. It'll be in the back of their minds. 35, and they'll have to start to make their move. Yep, simple pickings here for Hastika. And Mosea should surely be another victim likely to fall. That's the bomb dropped exposed inside of Mini, and while Mosea finds that trade, there's simply not enough time to clear out all of these angles. It will be a 6-9 half. Not exactly the best defense from the Mongols, but Cyclone showing us what they're made of on their map. We'll see how they do in the second half.
to let go. Take a chance, touch the sky, and you might just like what you find. Let's risk it all, put it on the line. Go and spread your wings, let's find out if you fly. Let's find out if you fly. Find out if you crash and burn and straight to the ground. Faster than a speeding bullet, don't make a sound. I can do this all on my own, but it's always better when you have somebody to hold. Keep this between us, ain't nobody have to know. Give me a reason, why is it so hard to let go? Take a chance.
9-6 half, and 5yclone will be very content with that, if not for Blitz just going Super Saiyan in one of those rounds, getting a quick triple on the push. This could have been a 10-5. Now Techno hoping to even the score a little bit more. Upper sight hit is in the cards, but will they be pulling those cards out, or is this a bluff?
Still just heavily grouped up inside of lobby, and yeah, there's just no additional presence, no additional util that they can send over this site, and Mercury already showing his dualies from on top of hut. One kill, a secondary found, and it's a labored trade, but they'll find themselves in this 2-on-2 where that bomb has enough safety. Nobody quick enough to heaven to really contest it. They're split very heavily here on 5yclone.
Mosea's just buying time for Jamyang to move in. He wants to just have this be a straight 2v2. Don't think there's a kid on the bomb side, so they will need to start activating Zinyu. However, split all the way past to second fence. Now, Jamyang does have a chance for a 1v1 to the back of the bomb site, but he loses it. 9-10 still revealing himself for the jump up. Continues going for it. A little bit bold, but Mosea around the corner will be in his face. No time for the defuse, if I'm not wrong.
It's super close.
Oh, he has it.
Oh god, he's got it. Yes, he's got it. It was as close as it could have been. That was milliseconds, even 1/1000th of a second from taking over, and the Mongols thought they might have just done enough, but a great job there from Mosea. Found the trade. It was a 1v2 in the end, and played that clock perfectly.
Nicely done.
Jeez, yeah.
All calculations.
I was half in, half out. You know, I was with you, but not entirely.
It's called being a shill for either side. There you go.
I just sat on the fence. You know, I was ready to take whatever came.
Mosea. Not quite able to get the second, but at least there's attack from Kaze. Windows popped open, and so is 9-10's body. That is a sternum with a lot of bullets in it.
Oh god. Hastika is now running for his life. Receives another tag from Kaze. Does get his decent enough position. He could have taken that smoke maybe to give himself a little bit more room, or even allow his teammates to come out from secret, maybe to help him.
Shotgun. They have to be so careful about that with the way their HPs are looking right now.
I'll just get him snuck up on.
Oh, knows where Hastika is now, and the no-scope's all he needs. Blitz is low, and Zinyu is hoping that he can somehow be the one to find a frag, but the bomb's been dropped, and Kaze is doing it all. Gorgeous stuff, man. He is not going to be letting up a bit. No bomb plant, no money, no buy.
Yeah, recovered that M4 as well on Kaze, so job done with the scout. You can just ferry that over to his teammate that lost out. It was Mosea that struggled to get more than one kill on the cross, but Hey man, said Kaze has been a little quiet in some of these series. This is, you know, yeah, it wasn't really the most needed on that T side with how well all the riflers were doing, but a strong AWPer on Nuke can really make it, the map feel so restrictive. Kaze right now hitting some nice shots. Look forward to seeing what he does when that AWP is in his hands, but maybe might not have the most playtime with it. Already a decent lead for Cyclone. This is a round in which that lead should only be built further.
Is it possible to wallbang someone from the top of the Tetris? I think it should be.
What? When they're on Tetris?
Like if you're on the furthest up brick of Tetris?
Yeah, no, you should be able to wallbang that, no problem.
Alright.
It's a thin metal sheet between them and the enemy. Well,
I hope Mongols are taking some time to discuss what they want in the next round, because they don't know what they want in this one for sure.
yeah, they're just trying to waste some time, waste some util. See if anybody oversteps, but I mean, Cyclone are fine to play very passive setups.
Okay, that's way too many people peeking into him. He can't deal with that much heat, and now it's Mercury and Advent to try and play the angles instead. Mosea's giving them a little bit of assistance. Blitz. On the east, giving us a small reminder of what it used to be. Of course, Jamyang on the server would like to have a word about that title.
Right, it all starts here. 12-6, and this first gun round here for the Mongols will be very important. This is what I like to bring up sometimes about, you know, switching halves, is at least Cyclone got the guarantee of playing all 15. Mongols don't have that same safety. They need to find success quite early on into this effort. They opted for that CT side, and it didn't go quite to plan. So yeah, taking that angle that we saw Blitz play, just holding into towards Mini, and the Mongols are setting up for an outside cross. So long as this isn't a C block. Okay, there's actually, or sorry, not C block, L block. Don't know why I decided.
Yeah, I was very confused. Like, what is a C block?
Yeah.
No. Micah coming in with the homework.
It's not even the right block in Tetris. You would have been able to see if there wasn't this L block of smokes, but they are going to make their cross towards Secret. And he's getting a lot of information as well within earshot. Mongols are not being quiet about it, so they've confirmed some numbers, and Cyclone are cheating extra rotates down B.
And you've got 3 players here already. Mercury is in a fantastic spot. He's not got too much backup yet, but he doesn't need it. Blitz is going alone. I'm going to maybe fake it out, but Advent even gets a frag on the rotate downwards. This is getting more and more concerning, and Mongols want nothing to do with this part of the map anymore.
This round is already done. I mean, 3 versus 4, and there's so much presence here from Cyclone. They have them completely boxed in. Everybody is here. Everyone is contributing to keeping them locked into this position. It's good kills from Techno to at least fight his way out of this problem, but 10 seconds, he needs to be able to get that bomb planted and rapid. He's made his way to this upper bomb site. Techno in with a chance.
Bomb is down, but rotation is coming through from outside. And Vents combined. Techno's trying to cut them off towards ramp, or no, he's going for the hightail back to Secret. The bomb isn't even planted forward, so they'll never really be expecting this. Techno's hoping to get a long-range duel versus Mosea early on, but man, he is going to be so slow about it. It's one of those points where he can just stick it. They do have a smoke, and Techno's not got HP, and as soon as he misses a bullet, they're going to be able to trace him down and bring him down as well. Very expensive, so Techno's at least made this a problematic situation for their wallet, but considering the backup funds they have, they're fine.
I mean, considering that was a complete read from Cyclone off of the information that Mosea garnered from the big garage, it's actually a surprise it becomes that much more expensive, because they have them trapped. You know, if so long as there's somebody to cut off a vent rotate, and, you know, contest that avenue to escape, there was no way that the Mongols even got out from secret, because there was just so much noise made. It had to have been multiple players, and I think Mosaic might even just called that it was all of them, because he heard so much noise. It is surprising it gets as expensive as that. Techno looking honestly very sharp in this particular map, but may not be enough. Slower performances from players like Mazinho, even Blitz to a certain degree, even though Blitz has been doing his damnedest.
No. Looking for timing. He did hear the drop down, but he can't catch the shot. Now, oh, straight to the dome. Yeah. Protected somewhat by the thin sheet of metals that we talked about before, but yeah, he is reminded of his insolence.
Yeah, the roof of hut basically saving him there. Okay, yeah, that's not how he thought that was going to go. Blitz is actually close to the smoke, and Mosaic didn't quite see what Blitz did. He can use that gap to take over Garage, but he does get dropped in the end. A trade is found. They've not actually crossed towards Secret, and they have no more smokes to allow this cross. They know that Kaze was holding for this eventual journey, and 910 missing his shot. Jamyoung, it's trades on trades here for 5yclone, just maintaining that man advantage. Kaze's ult is already honed in on ramp where the remaining Mongols players are headed.
So Jiggles won't be working out. Hasika had to go for the wide swing. Gives them the 2v2. Great shot from him. A game where he has had a few question marks on him, but this is a full exclamation. The only punctuation you want to see from Hasika's gun.
Well, they're going to try for this retake, and because of the heavy cost that they sustained in the previous round, there's even a justification for to go for a save, but they know they've got a lead. This is a 2 versus 2, and they've got at least one kit available. Just no smoke, no Molotov to make dealing with this crossfire easier.
Time's running down as well. There's no one actually revealing anything. These positions are fantastic. Hasika spotted out the gun barrel. Second great shot. Advent is down. Mercury, all that is left. And Hasika's got no reason to continue fighting this one out. The time's running out, and Mercury tries to take the fight to Techno, but despite the early damage dealt to him, it will not be enough. The bomb won't take him down either.
Yeah, Kaze getting absolutely destroyed on the peak from Hasika really just changed the tone of that round. It really felt as though the Mongols were scrambling for a solution. They just had very few resources. Not exactly the key men that you're typically looking to bail you out in situations either. But Hasika hit some lovely shots, and it's enough to break past it. And it does mean that the 5yclone economy is shaken down to likely only go for a save here. They won't be on any sort of loss bonus whatsoever. They only got 1,400 coming into this round, 1,900 in the follow-up. And Advent can't even buy if they save here, so it's a strange position to be in.
Well,
A half.
I like it.
Oh, well, Jamyoung's full board, so
I love it. Jamyoung knows he's the big man over here. I gotta swing on the big gun. Is that practical? Probably not, realistically. But hey, if you've gotten the first kill and you're in a 5v4, Jamyoung can upgrade to an AK. Why the hell not?
That's one way for this to start. Oh my god. Oh dear. Jamyoung thought for sure there was nobody else holding outside, and that one AK is no longer a problem. They've made their way down towards the lower bomb site. 3 already here for the Mongols.
Listen, they could just go back and look to save, you know, the farmers and the scout. Try and have them in the next round as well. But Musea is creepy boy. He's gone past, got one, looks for 2, picks up the gun as well. Second smoke down on the bomb, taps the defuse, runs away. Techno's gonna go for the spam. He knows it. They're peeking back in. Musea's not done yet. 910 all alone, protecting the defuses. Musea just closing the door. Peeks out wide. Kaze won't have too much time. And indeed, it's 910 to save the day in every single instance. But man, is it labored.
Yeah, I mean, first off, that got way too hectic. I'm fairly certain Hastica dropped. I'm convinced this man disconnected. He timed out or something. Had no reaction to the fact that his teammate was getting attacked, nor did he shoot back. That's why that round becomes so close. Hastica almost, I mean, he would have been able to cover, he would have been able to trade, and that round got very, very hectic. But Kaze didn't even stick it the first time. You know, he got on the bomb and then he let go of it while his teammate was still fighting. I don't know what was going on. It was actually all over the place in that particular round. But because we had that disconnect, we had that timeout issue, we have, of course, got to come to us. Because the players would prefer to play as 5.
Well, listen, Michael, because it is a timeout, it is disconnected. This actually triggers some PTSD for me because, Michael, funnily enough, I don't think you know this, but this round is literally exactly how my team got eliminated from the RMR in 2020. Funnily enough, for the first ever RMR, the ESL Road to Rio, we were playing against Mazalai in this exact same spot. It was 15-14. We were fighting for overtime, and my player stopped sticking the defuse while the other one was just closing the door. So I was just like, I've seen this before. No, not again. Please do it right.
It's all coming right back to me, all these emotions that I'd repressed.
Yeah, so hey, regardless though, and it's a very important round just for being able to do damage to the T-side economy. And off the back of this, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of a half-buy coming into this. And yeah, indeed. So it's P250s, not the Eagle. But you just start to wonder if Jamyang is maybe a little bit more conservative, if he's a little bit more aware of the possibility of someone covering off Blitz's death, that is a very different round there.
Yeah, it's just a bit strange, the way that all played out. Not sure who was affected by what, but we found an 8th for the Mongols regardless. 8 is decent, really puts a lot of vulnerability to the fact these P250s are out in full force here for Cyclone. One headshot, it's all that needed. Mosea, 1 kill, can't escape with the AK though. That is dropped inside of the vents, and that's something that the Mongols will want to do their best job in safeguarding, but Blitz just acting as interference, keeping a couple of these players on the upper side of the map entertained.
He just lets him 1 HP. Okay, that's just... Oh no, Techno.
It's like, yeah, we're not going here.
What's up there? Death.
Or at least the chance of it.
For Blitz, practically a certainty.
Bomb has been planted.
If they can find a kill on the Blitz, the Galil would be nice to say for Advent. Big if.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have no idea where Blitz ran off to. They don't anticipate that he actually made his way down to the lower side with the rest of the team, considering Blitz was already low enough to have called himself a save somewhere. And also he'll want to keep information. That's just in-game leader stuff. And Jamyang dies. So Advent won't succeed in actually saving anything, any of these rifles that have been dropped. He will keep his Deeg, and you can always give that to, I don't know, Kaze or something if he's gonna glass cannon AWP, but he's not. It will be rifles across the board. AWP dropped over to him by Mercury instead.
Yeah. Jamyang on the Thomas rather, not the M4. He's not had the best of games, but honestly, man, just name value of Jamyang, I wouldn't hate it if he had just had a M4 instead, but wants to go for utility. Understandable, very important over here, but unfortunately for him, he's lost out his teammate. So Musea and his M4 will be finding nothing. The top man right now for the Cyclone, and he won't be on the server. Surprised that there's no really counter aggression that's being planned out. Kaze is maybe going to be. It's a one-sided crunch. It's not going to be an easy push to go for. Kaze is actually going to be going all the way forward with the op, and as he starts to run back in, they are going to be committing to the push through. Techno, however, is right into it, gets the first, and now he's got back up behind as well, but on the drop down, 910's aim hadn't reset fast enough. Mercury's got yet another chance, but a good jiggle from Mzinho gives him the advantage there. Kaze still has rotated back, flicks all over the place, head spotted out as well. Hastika not quite aware of Jamyoung being in pursuit from vents, but he is worried about what could be coming over. Jamyoung, here's that reload, baited out. Hastika turns it into a one-on-one. He doesn't have the bomb, and he knows where Kaze was last seen, but Kaze could have slipped away anywhere by now, and Hastika knows it, but he doesn't have the wherewithal to hold on. Kaze, big triple.
Yeah, I mean, massive shots. The first kill was easy, but the quick flick into Mini made that round so much more feasible, so doable. Again, a nice effort there from Hastika in one of these rounds that looks pretty far gone, but very hard to contest against Kaze when he's hitting shots like that. Definitely a scary round. They tried to find a counteraction, and they did succeed. You know, that secondary player inside of Hut, just being able to get so much more ground and more space. That's what allowed Kaze to get out in the first place. But not how the Mongols had that one drawn up at all. Not enough presence inside of lobby to deal with the aggression quite quick enough. And that's actually not like an uncommon reaction from a CT side. That's why you were kind of surprised saying, you know, why isn't there some sort of counter aggression from 5yclone in some capacity? When you lose outside, that was the old school way of, you know, balancing out the information that you had. Is that, okay, they might be able to cross towards secret, we can get a rotate down to B, but we need to eliminate the possibility of this being an upper hit. See, even though they win that round, they're down to a couple SMGs and a FAMAS still. Mercury even dropping off of top hut. Could have fallen into open arms, but Kaze's taken some room all the meanwhile.
They thought this would be a slightly more presence back to ramp, I think. Haven't started off. Kaze getting aggressive. He knows he's feeling himself now, so might as well take advantage of that.
Yeah, love the move as well to dive down into the vents. Starting to hear a lot of this presence build outside, and so Kaze will take up good position at those decon steps.
Popped Advent as really the only immediate defender for the ramp area. Smoke will be dissipating soon. Now, of course, there are rotations nearby. Mosaic especially can make his way through. But man, Mzinho, great shot from him. Mercury's responding with one of his own, but Mzinho's just doubled up on the entries, and now Kaze, rather, Advent needs to start pushing through from behind. He's only got an MP9, not the best of weapons in his work, and as he's faced off with Mzinho, will find the one and information on a second. The problem is Kaze. His dive down to vents was nice if they'd actually been going for an outside hit, but when his upper bomb set is weakened by demises, it's just not a path of return over to A.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mongols actually did a great job of kind of flip-flopping between the two ideas. They showed a bit of presence towards lobby, then through this outside utility, then went back to lobby, and 5yclone had rotated away. I'm actually surprised that they were as concerned about sort of contesting outside as they were, considering they already had Kaze there as the contingency plan should they have gone back to B. You know, we didn't have like a double mini setup, for example, or somebody top hut still to hold on to that A bomb site. Like, they had enough players alive in that instance where they could have found a relatively creative solution. But it's, yeah, I mean, a little good move, a little misdirection thrown in by the Mongols to counteract that.
I think we might be about to go to our faces again.
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
Yeah. Source 2 confirmed?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Maybe Source 2 just launched. That's what crashed the game.
there's no way that that's happened.
Can you imagine though, just how silly that would be? You're just playing the game of your life. You're like, oh my god, it's 15-10. I could get a big win over here, make it a Sydney, and Source was out.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, you know, especially in a lot of league play, you know, even if it was like an ESL Pro League or like ESCA, we would have sometimes in the middle of series, it would just be like, oh, an update has dropped. We have to go to like an hour tech delay because the servers need to be updated, all the players need to get updated, the client needs to make sure it's updated. There's a massive faff. So I'd like to think that Valve think about that a little bit sometimes.
I mean, listen, at the very least for that, there's like some sort of a, we can just play on like an older version of CS, but for other games where you don't have the same option, funnily enough, I remember, Michael, and again, this was a long time ago, but for Dota especially, I was casting a tournament once and then they had to restart a game on like a completely different patch because a guy is like disconnected, then he couldn't reconnect because it said his game client is out of date or something. Oh. And when he did update it, it was just literally a different game.
Yeah, no, that's...
So yeah, you know, this is way back, like 2014 or something. Like, fortunately, Counter-Strike's sort of well past that. But regardless, I'm sure that we're gonna figure out whatever's going on the server soon. But will the Cyclone guys be able to figure it out before Mongols keep this momentum going, right? Because the CT side, it's had, you know, some good rounds, some good flashes, but it doesn't seem that that's necessarily where, you know, they're still feeling just as comfortable as they did on T.
Yeah, I think it's just nice that they had a buffer that they built up at kind of at the start of this second half as well. You know, the fact that what they found themselves in, what I think a 13-9 or 13-6 at a certain point in this game, that already feels like they've got enough rounds to play with that just allows you to, you know, have a few of these rounds that happen to fall out of your favor. I think their main concern has been, listen, okay, players are actually fragging, but we're losing way more resources than we need to in a lot of these instances. We had the Techno attempt where he brought it down to a one-on-one, just couldn't close it. Even the pistol round where they were 1v2 against Mosaic. You know, these are rounds where Cyclone would have liked to have kept more players alive in those particular rounds, but they have been able to squeak through in some of those dire circumstances.
Well, listen, economy is everything, and we're not going to be, you know, sort of wasting the economy of words on you guys here. You guys can go get yourself a quick glass of water or so. This tech timeout might take a couple of minutes, so, you know, tune back in about 2 to 3, and we'll see you guys then. Just going to a short break to go check out the wires and see what's going on. 15 to 12 might have missed out a couple of rounds, but at least we're here at map point. Cyclone, Mongols both having a gun round apiece, so you know what? At least we're here at the best of times.
Yeah, we've missed like three rounds. I think we were 14-10 last time we saw, but Cyclone now looking for a knockout punch. Kaze, 2 kills and Advent's there. Okay, well, we dive right in and we see the winning moments here for Cyclone on their map pick. Nuke going quite swimmingly for them, it seems, but a nice little effort there from the Mongols to have brought the score at least a little closer.
I wouldn't lie to you, that was underwhelming.
No, yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I'm trying my best to repress those emotions.
But regardless, though, listen, good to see them being able to close it out when they did start to struggle slightly. You know, nice little overall performance from them. Kaze had a